muscle. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul.
What's going on, my business associates? Here tuned in to another episode of Whiskey Business. My name is Jesse, and if you're new here, welcome and thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be decapitating another Woodford Reserve product. A lot of these lately. I'm a big Brown-Forman fan, but today we've got Woodford Reserve Straight Rye. So if you do go on to enjoy this video, or just enjoy quality sipping spirits in general, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. It's free, it really helps the channel to grow. So, with all that out of the way, let's get into today's decapitation. So this is Woodford Reserve's take on a straight rye. They said that they tried to do this pre-prohibition style as far as the mash bill ratio, which is coming in at 53% rye, 33% corn, and 14% malt. So it's putting it just over the legal limit to be called a straight rye, which is 51%, if you didn't know. So, as with all their other offerings, it's coming in at 45.2% alcohol by volume, or 90.4 proof. And again, this is another one you can find pretty readily available at the LCBO for a reasonable price as far as a Woodford Reserve product goes. They're all about the same price, obviously, not including double oak, but their standard offering at least, which their standard offering has a mash bill of 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. So it doesn't even have rye in it, but I really like it. I think it's sweet. There's enough spice in there, but I'm excited to see what their rye is going to be like. Now check out the channel to see me decapitate their sweet wheat variant. That one was a really good one. That's their take on a wheated bourbon, and if you are a fan of wheated bourbons and you see it, I'd recommend picking it up because as a fan of wheated bourbons and Brown-Forman products, I think they did a really great job, and for the price, you can't go wrong. Let's get into the nose. Oh wow, that banana is more prevalent than it was in the sweet wheat, and actually I would say more prevalent than it is in the standard distiller select. It's more prevalent than the double oak neck pour that I had, which I'm a really big fan of the double oak now, but that neck pour, if you did watch the decapitation of the Woodford Reserve double oak, it was not a good presentation, and it did not impress. But now, now that it's opened up, I really do enjoy it. It's one of my favorite sippers. So, but this glass has just like a really strong underripe banana note, and then a slight little bit of that Bananas Foster, some caramel in there. You definitely get like some, like what I would call raw rye notes, like just the straight rye grain. Maybe if you've ever made bread and you've mixed rye flour with water, but you haven't baked it yet, it's not that like cooked baking rye bread or like fresh rye bread, it's more just the dough It's a more raw, grainy note. Not much spicing, really. The weeded had a lot more spicing. I'm getting a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. A slight bit of like nutshell, maybe. Like, I don't think it's peanut shell, just like a nut shell, dusty nut shell. Like if you've ever had those mixed assorted nuts that people put on their coffee table at get-togethers, and like you have the nutcracker, and there's like a little platter for all the broken shells, like walnuts, almonds. It's just kind of like the aromatics you get from that, like a dusty nut shell, but not peanut. It's not peanut. So the spicing's starting to come out a little bit more. It's definitely sweet for a rye, but not in the typical dried fruit sweet that I tend to get on ryes. It's not fruity. It's not fruity by any means, other than that banana. But like I said, that's like an underripe banana, so it's almost lacking sweetness. But it's not bitter. It's just, you know how underripe banana smells really raw. This is a very raw smelling dram. It's raw rye, raw underripe banana. Well, anyways, that's enough of the nose. It's a pretty pleasant nose. Interesting for the most part. But let's get into the palate, shall we? Cheers. Wow, the palate takes it in the complete opposite direction. You're hit up front with like almost an overwhelming sweetness, a syrupy sweetness of caramel, vanilla, oak, topped with cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, just all sorts of warm fall spices. There's a little bit of that cacao in there as well. So that spicing that was really lackluster on the nose is making up for it on the palate. It's not overly spicy, but it's definitely a rye. You can tell it's definitely a rye. It's giving me a nice Kentucky hug at this point, which is one of the things I love about ryes. I would say, as far as like proof point goes, it's punching a little bit above its proof point, at least as far as the warming effect I'm getting from it. I would think this could be like a mid-90 proof for sure. That underripe banana is there, but the spice is really dominant and covers it up a lot more than most brown foreign products, because I feel like most brown foreign products you're getting the cooked banana as well, and that sweetness helps to keep it standing out on the palate, whereas this is just underripe, so the spice is just kind of covering it up. There's like a faint little bit of oak, but not a lot, and the oak that is there, I would say it's a little bit drying, but as far as the youthiness I typically get on the Distiller's Select and the Sweet Wheat, it's not there. There's not that, like, I'm gonna say a strong ethanol punch, but obviously it's not super youthy, Woodford Reserve, but as far as the ethanol's always kind of like a punch. You don't get that with this. There's no upfront ethanol punch. You're just hit right away with all that warm rye spice and a nice sweetness. Like I said, like it was almost overwhelming that first sip. Going into it, prepared to be hit with a lot of spice from the rye, it was very much upfront sweet. I'm getting like some almond in there, like amaretto. Yeah, amaretto. finish is really just warm in the chest. It's not very flavorful. Maybe like a little bit of that drying oak follows through, but that and a little bit of spice, but it kind of just falls off. You're left with the warmth, but the flavors are gone. So, but being at this proof, the finish isn't going to be spectacular in my opinion. It's pretty rare for something like sub 100 proof to have like a really lasting, impactful finish as far as flavor and development into the finish. But overall, for the price, it's a nice rye. I think it's a sweet rye, but it's not, like I said, the traditional sweet rye where it's dried fruits and almost trail mix. Like the nuttiness that I was getting, the nutshell dustiness, isn't coming forth on the palate, but I am getting that like amaretto almond cherry combo in there. So like a quality gingerbread cookie, not like one out of like a sleeve that you buy from the store, but like a home made quality gingerbread. That's nice. I love ginger, so and molasses, stuff like that. It's really good. Actually, molasses. Yeah, molasses in there. Maybe even like some sorghum. It's still developing. I mean, it's only been in the glass for like 5-10 minutes now, so it's obviously still opening up. But as far as neck pour goes on this thing, I think it's really good. If you're a fan of Woodford Reserve, pick it up. I think it's a great rye to have. And even if you're not like the biggest fan of rye, this isn't overly spicy. It's still got a nice sweetness, but it's not your typical dried fruit sweetness. So I think it stands out in that aspect. And if you're a Brown-Forman fan, I think you'll enjoy it. I don't have any negative things to say about this, but if you guys have ever had Woodford Reserve Straight Rye, let me know what you guys think down below. I'd appreciate any feedback, and I hope you guys all enjoyed and are staying safe. This has been Whiskey Business, and I'm out, guys. Cheers.